How's it going, guys? Thank you for joining me today. Today is February 19th, 2021, and this is MMA in the Morning, episode 5. Alright, so we are going to jump into our fourth topic of the conversation today, and they are UFC 260 has just added 2 more cards to the fights. The possibility of Kamaru Usman moving to middleweight. Leon Edward is taking on Belal Muhammed on March 13th. And Bellator ranking. Okay, let's go to the first topic, which is UFC 260. And you guys, UFC 260 had just added 2 more cards to their event. We got Sean O'Malley taking on Thomas Almeida, and also adding to that card there is Tyrone Woodley taking on Vincent Luque. You know what? UFC 260 is looking better and better. It's just the fact that with the addition of these 2 cards, we also have Peter Yan taking on Aljamain Sterling. Is that the one? I believe that's the one. I'm gonna have to double check that. Also, we still have the heavyweight champion, which is Stipe Mioic, taking on Francis Ngannou. I think that is gonna be one hell of a fight. Okay, so let's take a look at these 2 guys, or 4 guys, with these 2 additional cards coming up. So first of all, I would like to start off with Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley, he's got a record of 12-1, and his previous fights was at UFC 252, which is headlined by Stipe Mioic, taking on Daniel Cormier 3 on August 15th, 2020. And well, you guys know what happened there with the record of 12-1. That is his lone loss within his UFC career, well, within his career as a whole. Man, and that was a beating. In my opinion, Sean O'Malley in that fight versus Marlon Moraes, that was a beating. It's just, and this is the reason why I say that. He did not look like it was himself. In my opinion, I thought that he came out kind of flat and paid the price. So, yeah, so that's what happened there. But like I said, that is just my opinion. I thought that he came out kind of flat in that one. But also, you know what? I don't take anything away from Marlon Moraes. He looks really, really good. And also his opponent for that evening, for this fight coming up at UFC 260, he is facing off against Thomas Almeida, which Almeida, he's having a bit of a rough run lately. He is, the last 5 fights, he is 1-5. And the following loss within those last 5 fights are Jonathan Martins, Rob Font, Jimmy Rivera, and Cody Garbrandt. And his lone win was versus Albert Morales at UFC Fight Night. Holy smokes. UFC Fight Night, November 19, 2016, which was headlined by Ryan Bader against Antonio Nogueira in 2016. Holy shit. Okay, you guys, I am not a big believer of a tune-up fight, but this matchmaking coming up, in my opinion, in my mind, this is a definition of a tune-up fight. You have a guy that's just coming off his first loss ever, and also on top of that, we have a guy that is never lost. Sorry, we have a guy that's coming off like 1 win within the last 5, and also Sean O'Malley, he is one of the biggest names that the UFC have in their roster right now. In my mind, this is 100% a 2-on-5 for Sean O'Malley. I realized that in UFC there is no such thing as a 2-1 fight, and the reason why I'm saying that this is one of them is just based on their record, based on their record, and also on top of that, based on the popularity of each fighter. Okay, so that is one of the 2 cards that the UFC have added to the fight night, and the other one that's coming up that they also added is Tyrone Woodley is taking on Vincent Luque, and I'm just looking at their records here. Tyrone Woodley, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. His last win was against Darren Till at UFC 228, which is at September 8th, 2018. And after that, he went on a 3-fight skid, losing to the champ Kamaru Usman at UFC 35 to lose his welterweight title. Then he lost to Gilbert Burns at UFC Fight Night, May 30, 2020. And also in 2020, he faced Colby Covington in September, and that was lost as well. Wow. And his opponent, Vincent Luque, he is, let's have a quick count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's 8-1 within his last 9. Holy smokes. Let's get back to tune-up fight. This one, like, for whom? I realized that these guys were active, so I shouldn't be calling this a tune-up fight. Let's just say fight to get back on track. Fight to get back on track. And goddamn. Wow, this is a big fight for Tyrone Woodley. It's a mandatory win for him. He's got to win this fight. I mean, he's on a 3-fight losing skid, and he's come against a beast in Vincent Luque with 8-1 within the last 9. Holy smokes, man! Tyrone Woodley, this is it. You got to, man. You got to win this one. You were a former champ. You lost to. I realized that your 3 loss was to the current champ, and Gilbert Burns, the person who just challenged the champ for the title, and we know what happened there. He lost. And on top of that, the other one that he lost to was Colby Covington, and now the UFC is tossing him against Vincent Luque. I am getting the opinion that the UFC, they are not liking Tyrone Woodley at the moment. Like, as I previously mentioned with Chin O'Malley, I believe that the UFC is giving Chin O'Malley a tune-up fight, and this is so far from it. This is so far from tune-up fight. To me, this might be a lamb to slaughter. Oh my goodness. Am I a fan of his? I don't mind him. I think he's a great fighter. I mean, look at him. He's a beast of an athlete. He is a former champ, and I would like to see him come back and do well. But I don't think Vincent Luque is the person that you want to come back and face against. He's just on such a massive hot streak right now. Let's look at his last 9 fight. Well, he did beat Nico Price twice, Randy Brown, Mike Perry, Derek Grant, Brian Barberina, Julian Turner, and Chad Laprise. Okay. And his lone loss was to Stephen Thompson. You know what? Looking at Vincent Luque's record right here, I don't see anyone in the top 5 that he has beat. And the person that he fought, I say like top 10 right now is Stephen Thompson. I realized that the UFC ranking, they're always fluctuating, they're always changing. I'm not even gonna look at the record right now because, like I said, it's always changing. And Randy Brown and Nico Price. Nico Price was, I thought that Nico Price was gonna be a big prospect for the UFC, and then he went on this ridiculous run of one win, one loss, one win, one loss, one win, one loss. And on top of that, Wonderboy Thompson, which he lost to. I believe at that time he's fighting at, I believe Steven was ranking number 7 as of that time. But yeah, those are tough competition. But for Tyrone Woodley, as right now, if you ask me to pick who I believe is going to win that fight, I don't know. The fight is quite a bit away. Like it's on UFC 270. I believe that's March. Is that one coming up? Yeah, it's coming up. It's March 6th. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make my pick right now. If I was to make a pick for those fight coming up between Tyrone Woodley and Vincent Luque, I am gonna go with Tyrone Woodley to beat Vincent Luque, and I believe that he is going to finish him. And the other one between Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida. You know what, guys? You might hate me, you might call me a hater, but I am going to pick Thomas Almeida in this one. So I believe that the wear and tear of the fight game is catching up to Sean O'Malley, and I'm just nitpicking here. I realize that this is not the overall reason that this should not be the overall reason that I am picking out Almeida to win, because I believe that Almeida he's really need to win this one. I mean, he's on a 3-fight losing skid. If he loses this one coming up, there are a possibility of him being released. I just believe that Sean O'Malley, his frame, his body, he looks a bit too frail for me, and that including his foot injury. Who knows? Like, who knows how much that has healed? I realize that for him to come back and fight into UFC, to be competing into UFC, he must get an approval from the UFC doctor. So those are the following reasons why I am picking against Sean O'Malley. I'm gonna go with Thomas Almeida for the win. And for Tyrone Woodley versus Vincent Luque, I realized at first I did mention that Vincent is on such hot streak right now. I mean, he's 8-1 in the last 9, and Tyrone Woodley, he is 0-3. He's on a 3-fight losing skid. I could see a high possibility of him winning against Vincent Luque. So I'm picking Tyrone Woodley for the win. I believe that he is going to finish him. So that's my 2 picks as of right now. And for the main event, for that fight card, for the UFC 260, and the main event is Stipe Mioic versus Francis Ngannou. That is going to be a very tough fight. It's just the fact that this is a rematch, and on their first meeting, I picked, my choice to win that fight was Francis Ngannou, and I thought Stipe make Francis look bad. I mean, he took him down. He had his way with him, and I am hoping that Francis would work on his wrestling, and I believe that he has. But however, his last few fights, it didn't really last long for Francis. So I can see the possibility of the same thing happening again, which Stipe is going to take him down and grind him out and finish him. Okay. Alright, guys. So those are my quick thought of the UFC 260 addition to the fight card. Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida, and also Tyrone Woodley versus Vincent Luque. Alright guys, so let's head on to our second topic of the conversation today, and that is Kamaru Usman heading to the middle division and the possibility of him becoming the UFC next champ champ. So this is my quick thought on that. Number one, Kamaru Usman, he did mention that he will not move to the middleweight division as long as Israel Adesanya is their champion. And the reason behind that is that he would prefer to have 3 African to be a UFC heavyweight champion instead of 1, which that would be him. And if he would have moved up, he would have to challenge for the title. And the current champion right now at the UFC middleweight is Israel Adesanya. And he has no desire to compete against Israel. And also, he's looking forward to March. He did previously mention that he would like to see 3 African holding a UFC heavyweight title. Holding a UFC title, including the UFC heavyweight title, which Francis Ngannou is taking on Stipe, and also Israel Adesanya taking on Jan Blachowicz for Adesanya champ status. But however, what if okay, this is a big if, Adesanya beat Jan Blachowicz. If you guys have not seen my previous video from yesterday, I did pick Jan Blachowicz to win their fight. Let's say Israel Adesanya beats him, and after that, he chooses to relinquish the UFC middleweight title to jump the line in UFC heavyweight division. And I could 100% see that happening. It's just the fact that Adesanya would love to take away the possibility of John Jones being a two division champion. And also on top of that, could you guys just imagine if Adesanya jumped the queue and compete versus the winner of Stipe versus Ngannou and win his 3rd title? John Jones has got nowhere else to go. John Jones has been he has not been happy with the pay that he's been receiving from the UFC and from Dana White and essentially from his boss. And if Izzy went in there and captured their UFC heavyweight title, John Jones got to fight him. John Jones would essentially have to fight. Well, he doesn't have to, but ideally he would. Because at the end of the day, that will bring in a lot of eyeballs. It will be a lot of pay-per-view sales. And I'm pretty confident that John Jones, he is one of those fighters that he doesn't need to be the UFC champion to get a cut of the pay-per-view. So that would be big. And if that happened, I'm fairly certain that the UFC would ask Adesanya to give up one of the 2 previous title that he would have already won, and that would be the middleweight title and the light heavyweight title. And I get 100% seeing that Adesanya giving up the middleweight title. And if that's the case, that is when I believe Kamaru Usman will choose to decide to move up to the middleweight division. Because as of right now, you guys, there's no one in the welterweight division that Kamaru has not beat. And if you've seen my previous video from yesterday, I think highly of Kamaru. I believe that he is head and shoulder above the rest of the competition. In the top 5, we got Colby Covington, which he beat. We got Gilbert Burns, which he beat. And who else is in top 5? I can't think right now. Jorge Masvidal, I believe he's still ranked number 6. Just let me double check here. You can look quick at the Kamaru stats. Yeah, he beat Jorge and Tyrone Woodley. I don't think he's no longer top 5, but yeah, he, in my mind, like I said, in my mind, I believe that he beats everyone and anyone in that division. There's no competition in welterweight from right now. There's still fun fights. I mean, I would love to see, like I mentioned this before, I would love to see him compete versus Jorge. That might be competitive. It's just the fact that within their first fight, I realized that Jorge's got, I believe, like 2 weeks, 10 days notice for a short notice fight. And of course, we all know what happened there. And I believe that during his run as the champ right now, he's got 3 title defense. It was Jorge, Colby, and Gilbert at UFC 258. Out of those 3 title defense, Jorge was the only person that he did not finish. He finished Colby Covington in round 5 and finished Gilbert Burns in round 3. So I believe that the second fight, Kamaru versus Jorge, I believe that it is going to be more competitive. But however, I don't see Jorge beating Kamaru, not at this time. It's just the fact that he have leveled up. He's been looking very good. And he's just been destroying everybody. Everybody that the UFC has put in front of him, Kamaru has beat. And also as of right now, he is putting on an injury list after his fight from UFC 258 last weekend. He is on a 6-month no contact suspension, which, yeah, come on, man, like 6 months for that. I don't see that happening, because if the UFC would come back to him, it's like, hey, we got a fight for you within the next 3-4 months, he would take it after his well-deserved break from his previous fight versus Gilbert Burns, which in round 1 I thought Gilbert looks really good, and then round 2 the tide has turned, and I believe that Gilbert kind of wore himself out, like fatigue set in early, and Kamaru took over, and the rest it's history. The rest is history, and he ended up finishing Gilbert Burns in round 3. I think it's like 45 seconds into the round. So yeah, so the possibility of Kamaru being a champ, I believe that it could be a possibility, but not as long as Adesanya is in the UFC as long as Adesanya is in the UFC middleweight. He said that he will move up, but you know what? You never know if the price is right, because these guys are, at the end of the day, they are a prize fighter. If the price is right, I think he'll do it. If the price is right, I think he'll do it, and I think it's gonna be very competitive. And Kamaru Usman, he's one of those guys that I do not want to see him have a tune-up fight or any kind of fight besides for the UFC middleweight title, if he chooses to move up to the middleweight, essentially. And look at the guy. He's a freaking freak of nature, and it seems like he put on a bit of mass as well. So like, he's just, the guy's solid. I don't know what his walk around weight is to cut down to 170, but look at the guy. He's freaking jacked, and for him to make 185, 100% he can make it. 100% he can make that weight. So yeah, like I said, I would like to see him compete, but also I would like to see him fight against Jorge as well, and coach the Ultimate Fighter 29. I think that would be extremely entertaining, because I believe that these guys are characters. They are playing characters. I'm sure that they're nice guys, but at the end of the day, they are prize fighter, as I previously mentioned, and they will they will entertain us. Anyone says, I mean, the fan. They will entertain us as a fan, and I am looking forward to it. I don't know what's going to happen. Look at that picture. He just destroyed Tyrone Woodley and Colby Covington. Like holy smokes. Yeah. Okay. Alright, guys. So that is my quick thought on the possibility of Kamaru Usman moving up to become the UFC next champ and get that status. So hopefully it does happen. I don't know what's going to happen with the middleweight division. Let's say if Izzy comes back down and he lose to, let's say, Paulo Costa in a rematch, or if he lose to Robert Whittaker in a rematch, that is a possibility. Like Jan could just beat the brakes out of him and like scars him for life, or Izzy decide to move up to heavyweight division, as I previously mentioned as well. I could 100% seeing him relinquish the middleweight, because then the cut would be a lot easier from heavyweight to light heavyweight, because weight division, and yeah, I would like to. And previously, Izzy did mention that he has competed at as high as heavyweight. There's a chance that might happen. So yeah, okay. So I am gonna stop that there for our second topic of the conversation. I am looking forward to the fights, like any fight for Kamaru, any fight for Izzy. And if you guys think I am being a hater, I am not. I'm just being a realist. And the realist in me is that I think Jan Pavlovich is going to beat Izzy. And when Izzy comes back down, he will lose his next fight, regardless of who it may be against. And if that happened, which I believe that it will, because I just said it, there is a possibility of Kamaru Usman moving up. Now I'm just rambling. And him being the next champ, 100%. So, well, 99.99%. Nothing is 100%. Okay. Alright, so we are going to head into our third topic of the conversation today. And that is Leon Edwards has finally got an opponent for a UFC Fight Night on March 13th, and that is Belal Muhammed. And you guys, I don't know what to say, man. This is a long time coming for Leon Edwards. I mean, they have tried to book a match between him and Khamzat Chimaev for, I believe, like 3 times already. So March 13th, I believe it's gonna be their 4th booking. And I would really love to see that fight still, but as of right now, I believe that Chimaev should take some time off. Because, well, he is taking some time off because of COVID. He said that was one of the worst experiences that he have ever had. So let's get that out the way. Champ said, you know what, man, take it easy, take care of yourself. This is only a fight. You know what? You can make all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, and why do it? Well, for money and for better living, but still, just take care of yourself first. The fight's not going anywhere. The UFC's not going anywhere. So yeah, take care of yourself. Okay, so let's get into our new headline for UFC Fight Night on March 13th. We got finally an opponent for Leon Edwards. Let's take a look at these 2 opponents. I'm going to start off with the newcomer. Yes, I said the newcomer, and that is Belal Muhammed. Okay, guys. If you guys don't know that he just competed at UFC 258, which is headlined by Kamaru Usman against versus Gilbert Burns, and he took on Diego Lima, and he won that in a unanimous decision. And as of right now, Belal Muhammed, and that was on February 13th. So this is about a 4-week turnaround. It's literally a 4-week turnaround because his previous fight was on February 13th, and the next one coming up is on March 13th. So that is a week afterward. And as of right now, he is riding a 4-fight win streak, and overall, he is 8-1 within the last 9. It's not bad. It's not bad. That's pretty freaking good. And his lone loss within those 9 fights was against Jeff Neal at UFC Fight Night, Cejudo versus Dillashaw on January 19th, 2019. And also, let's have a quick look at Leon Edwards. I believe that he has competed in a while. Okay, so this is Leon Edwards. He is on a massive run as well. He's on an 8-fight win streak, and he's 10-1 within his last 11. But however, Leon Edwards hasn't competed since July 20, 2019. And that is headlined by Rafael dos Santos versus, Leon Edwards. And before that, he got 1 fight in he did compete once more in 2019. But of course, like after that, we all know what happened. They tried to book a fight against him with Champ Champ, and that did not go well. There was a lot of obstacle. There was a lot of X factor. The biggest one was COVID. Fuck COVID, man. I'm tired of this shit. So, am I excited for this fight? Yes. It's just the fact that I like seeing Leon Edwards compete, and also I like seeing upset. And what I mean by upset is that Belal Muhammed, he's not up there when it comes to the ranking, but I am picking him to win. I'm picking Belal to beat Leon Edwards, and the reason behind that is that I believe he's riding such a big hot streak right now. This guy's on a tear, and in his last fight at UFC 258, it seems like he has taken his game to that next level. He's going to give Leon Edwards a tough competition, a tough fight. And I realized that a lot of people are counting him out. And I also read a few comments at MMA Fighting. There was a few people that are saying that this is too quick of a turnaround, and that Belal would not have an adequate fight camp. I disagree. He just came off a fight camp. He is still in a fighting shape. And he's still in fight mode. The way I see it, I believe that it should be the other way around. I believe that the favorite in this fight should not. I repeat, should not be Leon Edwards, but Belal Muhammed. I mean, Leon Edwards, don't get me wrong, he's a high level fighter. That is one of the reason why he is in the UFC. But he hasn't competed in about, I can't do the math right now, but it's been a while. It's been a while since he have competed. So to pick for this fight right now, I love doing fight picks, and I am picking Belal Muhammed. I also believe that this is also his coming up party, his showcase debut to the world, showing that the last 4 fights, the last 4 win streak that he have had, that is not a fluke. That's not a fluke, and he will emerge to become one of the contender. And who knows, if he goes on like 2 more fights after that, I could see him challenging for the title. But on a flip side, if Leon Edwards beat Belal Muhammed, could you really say no to him facing the champ? Could you see the possibility of the UFC saying no to him having a shot at the next welterweight title? I mean, I did previously just mention on my last segment, the last topic, that as a fight fan, I would like to see Kamaru Usman taking on Jorge. But after that, I believe that if Leon Edwards wins, he should take on the winner of that fight, the winner of Jorge versus Kamaru Usman. And I can see that being a fun fight. Leon Edwards, he is on an 8-5 win streak, and if he beat Muhammad, this will make him 9. I don't know what else you have to do to get a title shot. I mean, Max Holloway, I believe he had to go 10, like double digit, before he's got a shot against Anthony Pettis. I realized that was for the interim title, but he did win that fight, and after that, he did win on to beat Jose Aldo to unify and become the undisputed champion, and he went back and beat him again to make sure that the first time was not a fluke. And for Leon, man, I got nothing against him. And you guys might be asking, if I don't have anything against him, why am I picking against him? Like I said previously, that I just mentioned that I like to root for the underdog. I like to cheer for the underdog. And according to a lot of the people, even the media, the fan as well, they are high on Leon Edwards, and that is one of the reason why I am going that way against. That is the reason why I'm going that way, because I believe that Muhammad, he is still in fight shape. He's in a fight mode, and this guy is he's riding a winning streak of his own as well. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happened on March 13th. But finally, Leon Edwards he's got himself an opponent. But knock on wood, we don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, Leon, he's been on such a ridiculous bad luck of streak when it comes to picking opponent and matchmaking with the UFC. And with the UFC matchmaking, I mean, like I said, knock on wood, I don't want anything bad to happen to these guys, but there's always that possibility of something happen. Like, look at their previous matchmaking. I don't even want to say it, because I don't want it to happen, and I can see that happening. So, cross your finger. I am looking for this fight, and like I said, Leon, I'm not rooting against you. I would like to see you win, but I am cheering for Muhammad to win. Take that for what it's worth. So I am looking for this fight, and good luck to both these guys. But the one thing that I don't want to see is wrestling. I like strikers. I want these guys to come in and strike. If these guys decide to come in and try to take each other down, become a snooze fest, it's going to be boring as shit, and that is the last thing that I would like to see. So yeah, so that is the new main event for UFC Fight Night, UFC Edwards versus Muhammad, scheduled on March 13th, which is in a few weeks away. Today it's less than a month away, 3 weeks and a bit. So yeah, okay. So that's my quick thought on that, on the new announcement. I am excited as a fight fan. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so after that, we are going to head into our final topic of the day, which is Bellator ranking. Finally, why so long? Why do you guys wait so long? I am looking forward to this. I believe that this is a long time coming. It's just the fact that, well, I like to know where each fighter stands. I like to know where Phil Davis stands in his division, where Ryan Bader, the former champ, stand in his division, person with 2 titles at the same time, and also Pitbull, because in my mind he is the best fighter in Bellator now. It's just the way that he dismantled Michael Chandler before Michael Chandler moved to UFC. And of course, the addition of Yoel Romero and Anthony Johnson. I would like to see where Bellator will rank these guys in their ranking. And also, right here, Michael Venom Page. I mean, like, Michael Venom Page he's an awesome fighter. He is such an entertainer. I would love to see him fight again soon. But yeah, Bellator, why so long? Why do you guys waited so long to come up with this? I mean, I believe that this is, like I said, this is a long time coming. I just don't know the reason why they waited so long as they did. So, and also on top of that, this might sound silly, okay guys, this might sound silly, but for me, I like to see a number next to fighter's name, because right away, if you are new to the sport, you don't know who these guys are. But if you just tune in, if you're just flying by, just like, hey, what's going on, and like, hey, I don't know this guy, but if you see a number next to their name, you could say, oh, really? You got like a number 2 against like a number 7? So I think it's psychological for me, but how it's not just for me, but as for the audience as a whole, because having that number next to your name, you have this, it's something in your mind triggers, especially mine, is that it tells you right away of how good these guys are. If you have like 2 names, we know, like, this is what I mean. If you have 2 fighters, just names, I'm gonna say Phil Davis versus Ryan Bader. I realized that they have competed before, and both these guys are a former champion. But if someone new coming in, they're like, who are these guys? Are they any good? Without realizing that Ryan Bader is a former champ, and without realizing that Phil Davis is a former champion as well. So I believe that this is a step into the right direction. And also on top of that, they are ranking the Bellator women division as well. Their women division is a bit shallow. I believe that there's only 2 weight class. I don't know why that should be a factor. I don't know why I just said that, but yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that was literally my quick thought on that, and I am looking forward to the Bellator light heavyweight tournament. Like I said, Bellator finally you guys decided to do it. So yeah. Okay. So that's my end to this segment. I don't know what else to say. It's just the fact that finally. Well, okay guys, so after that, thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time for today. I realized that this is only episode 5, and there are a lot of work that I need to keep doing and continue for improvement. So bear with me, and I will work on my end. If you have any comment on what I should do to improve this channel, you know, just tell me in the comment section below, and I will try to do it if I know how. Essentially, this is fairly new to me. I opened up this I started this account in the late 2016, and then I took a bit of a break off, and just recently, as of last week, I decided to re-upload again after I believe about a year and a half of not uploading any video, so bear with me. Alright, so once again, like I said, thank you for joining me. If you're not, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I post a lot of stuff on I put a lot of stuff on Twitter all the time. Pretty much anything that comes to my mind, and the latest news when it comes to the world of mixed martial arts. And Instagram, it's just my hobby. If you guys want to know what else I'm into besides mixed martial arts, follow me there. So yeah, once again, you guys, thank you very much for joining. Take care. Take care, be safe, stay healthy, and I will see you on Monday, because this is Friday. I will upload every Monday to Friday for MMA in the morning. Take care.